Hello everyone, welcome back to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and today, after a much prolonged hiatus, I will be proceeding with part 2 of the Return to Ivalice storyline. So without further ado, let's see what Lena has. Uninvited. Lena appears to have been awaiting your arrival for quite some time. Well, I've been away doing stuff for quite some time, so let's see what's up. Myrokos, where in the world have you been? Did you not receive Alma's summons? No, I did not. Principal Lexentale's research into the ore site may finally have borne fruit. Oh, really? We must hurry to the Prima Vista before they embark on some grand and perilous adventure without us. In her message, Alma mentioned a guest from Shoreland, someone your companion said Garland believed might be able to assist the principal's research. An archetype, I think was the term she used. Okay. Will you follow me to the shuttle? Myrokos, Lady Murilla, thank you for answering my summons. Master Garland was kind enough to send for an Archon from Shoreland, and I thought it only right that you be present to hear her findings. To be frank, summoning Mikoto was more Shtala's idea. I simply came along to see what light she could shed on this mystery. I am Mikoto of House Jinba, a doman, though my years in Shoreland have made me a stranger here. You must be Myrokos Alond, fabled liberator of men, slayer of false gods, warrior of light. I thought you'd be taller. Okay. Let us speak of the crystal. The odious, one of but many orsite shards that aided Noble Delita's rise to regent. Okay. My apologies. The odious is no ordinary crystal. Even discounting its obvious historical importance, the specimen is more than a simple manifestation of elementally aspected energies. It is rather an ethereal lodestone, whose facilitation of both the absorption and transmission of distinct frequency NRR type harmonic vibrations has been observed to promote ethereal amplification. The resultant neuroharmonic disturbance allows for a highly unique emittance of CPRS waves that, instead of radiating outward with a determinate factor of dispersal, instead resonate inward at a frequency so labored, my estimates place the rate of VTR decay at upwards of several centuries. I am losing track of what it is you're trying to say. Though I must admit I lack sufficient varieties to complete a truly comprehensive graphical assessment. While that explanation might elicit admiring nods from your professors at the Academy, it will earn you only blank looks here. Yeah, damn right it will. Take a deep breath and try again. This time in a language those of us without the echo might comprehend. Hey, I've got the echo, but I'm not certain I followed most of it. Good. My apologies. I merely thought... Apologies will see us no nearer to an answer. A simpler explanation will. Simpler. Right. Ether is not only the building block of all things material, but those immaterial as well. Thoughts, memories, feelings, ones very well, are all understood to be ethereal phenomena, and can be measured as such. Unlike most crystals, which only can emit elemental energies, aurosite is tuned not only to absorb ether, but ether specific to the immaterial. The ether is then stored and multiplied within its crystalline confines until external stimuli precipitate release. Try again. Oh dear. Under appropriate conditions, a strong will or desire can become imprinted upon the aurosite and stored until fermentation, at which time the desire becomes manifest. Fermentation? This isn't going well. What my studious young friend is trying to say is that the odious takes one's deepest fantasies and makes them reality. Yes, that is simpler. You may choose to think of it as a process akin to that of summoning a primal. There being one marked difference. Primal summoning requires a supplemental energy source, such as a horde of elementally charged crystals. Aurosite, on the other hand, has the capacity to serve as its own source of power. We know from the Durai papers that Argath was never king of Ivalice. He was slain in battle during the War of the Lions. Yet the Argath encountered during the recent expedition carried himself as if he had been crowned regent. I believe this was merely the aurosite in his possession making realizing his desire to rule. I am informed that he uttered the same words over and over again for the duration of the confrontation which unfolded. If that is the case, it is possible that it was not actually Argath who uttered them, but the aurosite itself. If the Durai papers are accurate, Argath was a weak and petty noble who believed that his blood entitled him to power. The aurosite took that belief and twisted it into the abomination Myrokos put to the sword. Yeah, where were you said for that? Yeah. Then you are saying the crystal could prove a threat. The Orosite, Alma, and not necessarily. Ramza seemed to fare well enough. There was no record of the young regent being manipulated by the artifacts he gathered. In the hands of the just, the Orosite should prove harmless, even beneficial. To paraphrase, it is not the weapon that kills, but the one who wields it. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh yes, it was Emperor Galvus's justification for taking the marvels of Magitech and applying them to the manufacture of arms. Where, after all, was the harm if it allowed him to bring order to the 3 continents? You draw an intriguing parallel, Master Garland. The properties of these crystals are so singular, I do begin to wonder if they, like Magitech, are products of science and not nature. That they were created by someone to... But who? What manner of person would even be capable of such a feat? Now that is an interesting question, the answer to which I look forward to hearing. Regrettably, I have pressing matters to attend to elsewhere. Fear not, however, Mikoto's insight will prove far more beneficial than anything I might accidentally contribute. Good day to you all. What I don't understand is, if the Duma was imprinted with Argath's deepest desires, then whose desires are rattling about inside the Odious? I had the selfsame question, and thus conducted a thorough inspection of the crystal upon my arrival. The results were inconclusive. Traces of ethereal activity were present, but to all intents and purposes, the vessel was empty. Empty? But what of the voices I heard? Voices? I heard nothing of the sort. The only voices you heard, Alma, were in your stubborn head. Oh boy. Ramza, why won't you... Shall we speak of voices, then? What of yours, Alma, our resident voice of dissent? You have done naught but question the wisdom of our research. From the moment we left Garlemald, would you put your petty worries above our family's calling? No, I would never. You would never. Then why involve a gossip monger? A goody two-shoes and this flying mole? Please tell me you can see that. Huh? Oh, it's a Moogle. Okay. Huh. A Moogle, and a decidedly dusty one at that. Might this be one of your acquaintances, Myrokos? I don't know. Ah, a Moogle, yes. Don't just stand there. Get rid of the thing. You're the liberator. Liberate this vessel of that pest. That's not how adventure works. It is like nothing I have ever seen before. Can we keep it? Of course they're at odds. Most intriguing. Is it alive? Yes, it is. Usually Moogles are alive. Usually. Am I interrupting? Oh, please do go on. My acceptance into your fine troops ranks can wait until all have said their piece, Kappa. Guards, get this Mont Blanc. The name is Mont Blanc, denizen of Dalmasca's deserts, seeker of thrills, adventurer extraordinaire, but you may call me Mont Blanc. Campo. Dalmasca has long been known as a melting pot for myriad cultures, where minor races such as the Sikh, Banga, and the Viera might live in relative harmony with Hura, Elazin, and others. Yet there is no record of a prominent Moogle population. Most likely because we are neither prominent nor populous. My people are nomadic by nature, ever drawn to the elusive frontier and the freedom she promises, Capo. A Moogle. Of course I'm a Moogle, Capo. You'd think the adorable wings and the fluffy palm would have given it away. Now about my admission to the Majestic, I will allow no such thing. The Majestic is the Empire's premier theater company. We will not sully its good name by granting refuge to a fluttering ball of fur. And furthermore, how in the world did this abomination board the Prima Vista in the first place? By means of his wings, were I to guess. As for his admission to our company, I do not seem to recall race, creed, or allegiance on my list of prerequisites. Do you? Ooh, no, father. Very well then, Mont Blanc, what is it exactly that calls you to the stage? Our stage. What else? The Zodiac Brave story, Capo? Never before have I witnessed something so amazing, so moving. Sitting, well, technically hovering there in the audience as the story unfolded around me, I knew I was witnessing something special, something positively transcendental, Capo. It was then that I realized I either had to be a part of it or to go to my grave a bitter and broken Moogle. Was this realization before or after you swore you simply had to become the realm's greatest marauder, Capo? Hurdy, how did you... Perhaps you'd have more success at running away if you didn't reveal your grand designs to every other fool you happen to meet. Was it not but 20 nights ago you took up the axe? Now here you are professing your passion for the stage before carving even a single notch in your haft. Do you not remember, to he who churns the butter goes the sweetest bread? But how is one to savor said buttered bread if his head is in the belly of a fearsome beast? You accuse me of giving up when I merely came to the realization that continuing would end in failure. Only through a change of course could I reach my final destination. And that destination is what? Mummer? Are you sure it is not geomancer, arithmetician, Templar? Do not bother answering. We all know you'll be singing a different tune come cockcrow. That is where you are mistaken, Hurdy. I was destined to be a thespian. I can feel it in my fur. The role of Delita was made for me. Made for me. Capo, enough! The actors in our company trained at the Empire's finest institutes. They represent the pinnacle of the profession not only in Garlemald, but across the entire world. A vagrant bat-mole like you could never hope to share a stage with such artists, let alone play the part of a hero like Delita. You yourself admitted you were too craven to face a solitary beast. How do you imagine you would fare against a pack of theater critics? Any troupe would need proof of valor before it could even consider... Craven? Call me a cheat and call me a cur, but do not, sir, call me craven. I accept your challenge. Slay but one foul beast by mine own hand, and the Majestic Theater Company will accept me into its ranks, Capo. Wait, I issued no such. You are all here a witness, Capo. When I return with the head of a terrible beast in my gore-stained hands, you will be honor-bound to welcome me, Mont Blanc the Mummer, into the fabled ranks of the Majestic. Good day. Wonderful. What do we do now? What do we do? We do nothing. If that Batmore wishes to throw himself on the horns of stampeding Zoe, I will not stand in its way. I believe the proper term of derogation is Batmole, and I should warn you, is Mole Bat, and I should warn you, Moogles do not take kindly to those who use it. Why must you always put yourself above others, brother? Did you learn nothing from Argoth's wretched example? Mont Blanc would never have set foot on this fool's errand had you not made the challenge. If anything befalls my brother, his blood will be on your hands. Myrokos, you are the only one among us capable of locating Mont Blanc and preventing disaster. On behalf of my brother, I beg your assistance. Fine. My brother can be rather simple-minded when it comes to such matters. Thinking to impress the Warrior of Light and his companions, Mont Blanc would likely choose the scene of your recent exploits to prove his worth, meaning Robert Astor, if I am not mistaken. Pardon my language, but that Ramza really is an incurable little prick, is he not? How dare he speak to his sister and the Moogle in that manner? I couldn't decide which was worse, the things he said or the way the principal sat back and let him say them. But I suppose it is none of our concern. For now, let us concentrate on the task at hand, finding that Moogle before he does something we'll all regret. Let's say we start nearby. Pier 2, perhaps? Okay. This is Pier 1 and going the wrong way. Pier 2. Right. Pier 2 has the entrance and the exit. Well, here they are. Okay. The Falcon Porter tells us that he set a traveling blacksmith away to Yangshan Naughtabell Past. But why would that be of interest to us, you ask? Because said peddler of iron and steel was seen to be carrying a bag stuffed to the brim with, and I quote, albino mole fur and purple bat wings. Mont Blanc. Not that we look like that, Capo. The quickest route into Dalmasca is via the One River, and its western tributaries. If Mont Blanc is bound for Rapidaster, he will seek passage from the Glittering Basin. Oh boy, a couple of chocobos have decided to, oh, and there they are just, watching. Okay. Mont Blanc, what were you thinking? Have you any idea what you put your brother through? He has been worried sick. Both Herdy and Ramsa were right all along. I am a failure, a flop, a flailing, flapping, foppish failure, Capo. How could I play the part of a hero if I cannot even ruffle the feathers of a single measly bird? The audience would see right through me like the spineless jellyfish I am. Now wait, Mont Blanc. Not everyone can be a hero, not even most heroes. Yes, the bards sing of the man who deals the final blow, but what of his cadre of loyal companions? Do you think Delita united Ivalice on his own? Do you think Myrokos here was alone when he liberated Alamigo? Not all wars are won on the front lines. But of course they are not. Every campaign needs a brilliant architect. The mastermind who moves the pieces across the board. I, Mont Blanc, can be that mastermind. That was quick. Let us not dwell on the details. The day is saved and Mont Blanc has escaped saw, scratch, or singe to show for it. We should return to the Prima Vista before our luck runs out. Please, this ship is a place of peace. Release my sister or you will answer to me. How did they even get on board? When the cat's away... Put that damnable thing down, Ramza. You're not helping matters. We have no quarrel with you or yours. We only seek aid in finding our leader, the Gamnan. You seek our help? You who threatened to kill my father, who stole his work and made fools of us all? Never. Silence, Ramza. They have Alma. We will hear what they have to say. As I said, we have no quarrel with you. We only did what was necessary to secure an audience. We surrender our weapons and offer your journal as an act of good faith. This is all rather a lot to digest, but your claims do coincide with what we have learned about the R site. You're saying the crystal did something to our captain? After being emptied of Ariath's will, the Duma has sought that of another to sate its appetite for ether. You're saying the crystal ate our captain? Not his body, no. Only his soul. His soul? Tell me, what in your opinion was your leader's deepest desire? What was it that he longed for above all else in the world? Why waste your breath reasoning with these lizards? They showed themselves for the beasts they are when they put a knife to your throat. First mole bats, now lizards. This one's tongue is pure poison. The boy can call us what he pleases. For our past failings, we deserve no better. Your failings. 30 summers have come and gone, yet not a night goes by that I do not wake and sweat at the memory. We were fusiliers in the Damascan army, stationed in the royal stronghold at Nalbina. Nalbina fortress was reputed to be impenetrable, Its fall to the 4th Legion proved a turning point in the Imperial campaign, dealing a crushing blow to Dalmascan morale and ultimately marking the beginning of the kingdom's end. Agamemnon was our captain, and once it was clear the day would not be ours, Prince Razzler, commander of the garrison at Nalbina, tasked him with one final mission. Our unit was to escort His Highness's twin sisters, Princess Ashleia, His Highness's twin sister, Princess Ashleia, away from the fortress and thence to safety, but things did not go as planned. I still remember the words she uttered as she lay dying in the captain's arms, but a stone's throw from where the Garum South waterway drains into the sea. Even as the fog of death descended upon her, she smiled and told us the very people who had failed her to survive for as long as even a single Dalmascan stood. Our nation would never truly perish. But it should not have been us who survived. By failing to protect our charge, we betrayed the princess and her memory, and brought shame upon our race. So yes, we are not but cold-blooded lizards, deserving of whatever scorn you deign to heap upon us. I think we may safely assume a deep-seated hatred towards the invaders of his homeland, coupled with self-loathing, born from a sense of powerlessness. The darkness that lurks in the heart of Agamemnon is little different from that which drove Argoth, the self-same emotions that were to nourish the Duma. Stop speaking in riddles, Charlene. She's saying your brave captain will eventually turn into a monster, or rather, more of one. Garlean lies. What they say is true. If we do not find Agamemnon and the Duma soon, none of us are safe, present company included. Do you have any idea where he might have gone? Any at all? Wait, look at this. Something has been added to the final page of my journal. Then the captain must have put it there. Only he had access to it, until we found it in the pack he left behind, that is. Is this Dalmascan? Indeed it is. It says Ridorana. The lighthouse? Why would he write that in an old man's journal, no less? There is a place on the Valnode Sea, far to the south of Rabanastre, where the ocean tumbles into a gaping maw more than a mile across, the Ridorana Cataracts. Legend would have us believe that the entire race, that the entrance, not entire race, that would be awkward, that is the entrance to the hell of water. Oh boy. Many a scholar seeking to prove otherwise has descended into the chasm, some even by airship, but not a one has returned. Ooh. Why do I have the feeling I'm about to become one of the first? Oh dear. I must admit to knowing little of Rotorana save that which Lady Myrokos shared with us. Before we expend valuable time and resources traveling to so remote a place, I must review my notes and see if there is any mention of the Abyss. We shall send for you as soon as we learn aught of interest. My power, my pleasure, my pain. Something is on Principal Genoa's mind. Unfortunately, it is not what you think. Rotorana is proving to be quite the enigma. With every answer comes countless new questions. This may take longer than I expected. But you are doubtless eager to know why I requested your presence. Our resident dramaturge mentioned there was something he wished to ask of you. As my work here is far from complete, I wondered if you might not indulge the man while you wait. There's few so loath to take their rest than venturers without a quest, for shorn of work to give them worth, they soon become a source of mirth. Quoth the man idling in an airship. Touché, I shall leave you to your devices then. Wait, what? Didn't I already... Didn't I already do this? Did I say the wrong thing? Okay, maybe I picked the wrong thing. Oh, but it has, my friend, it has. My colleagues tell me that if one in this land ever needs an item fetched, that you are the man to speak to. I find this philanthropic compulsion fascinating, and so, in the interests of research into my next play, let's say, I seek to put said compulsion to the test. Assuming you are game, of course. Bring me a bottle of wine, but not just any wine, make it rose-themed, and make it Eorzean. I've had my fill of the bitter blends offered here in the East. Where to start? Oh, if only there was some port where thirsty Eorzeans went for their wine. You would surely be there speaking with its foremost blind Lalafell inventor, and not here with me, okay. Well, we're going back to... I wonder, has that rare vintage been revived? Yeah, so now we gotta go to wine part. Shamani Lomani. It's been a while. Soy and spice, sprinkled with a subtle subtone of the steppe. You have traveled far, my friend. What is it you seek here in Wineport? I need a bottle of wine. A rose-themed wine. You would be hard-pressed to find a wine that did not display some hint of rose, so we can assume that your client was not referring to a desired bouquet. Perhaps a name or a label or a bottle. Yes, I seem to recall a certain vintage rosé sold in crystal bottles with a single red rose on the label. Alas, I have nothing as rare amongst my personal stock. As for who might, well, there's always Bergland, I suppose. Oh boy, that one. Pah! Only an uncultured fool would select a wine based solely on its bottle. As it happens, however, said fool would be undeservingly rewarded with one of Vilburn's best wines, were he to select a vintage Sud Vianya. Not that your client would have the palate to properly appreciate its depth and complexity, but let us dispense with the pretense. You are the fool in question, and do not bother to deny it. A fool who has aimed too high. One of your standing could live 1,000 lifetimes and still not amass the wealth required to purchase even an empty bottle. Oh, price is no object, is it? Ha! Even if I believed you, and I do not, I have a reputation to uphold as a venter. And viticulturist. Were my clients to learn I was peddling the choice of my collection to the likes of you, they would never do business with me again. It's not for me. All right. Just to see the back of you, I shall do you the kindness of directing your steps unto one who might take pity on your plight, assuming he does not find amusement in it. Master Gigaruja of Casa del Sol, but do not tell him I sent you. Hi dear. Hi Autumn. What is it say? Myrokos, it's always a pleasure, and I do mean that. My ladies inform me you come inquiring after a bottle of Sud Vianya, but I told them they must be mistaken. Not even you would be foolish enough to think you could. It's not for me. Oh, you are serious. Myrokos, you do realize one could purchase an entire estate in mist for the price of a single bottle, or 5 estates for the price of 5, which happens to be the number of bottles I have in my collection. Now I am not an unreasonable man. Let none say the venerable Gegaruju does not value a friendship as deep as the one you and I have forged, so in my boundless generosity I offer you the opportunity for a trade. A bottle of vintage Sudvianya, for a mere magnum of fine Dalmascan. Never heard of the stuff, and I thought I was talking to a fellow connoisseur. I pity the poor venter back in Wineport who will have to educate you. Until then, my friend, the offer stands. Ha 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 ha. Oh boy. Now I need this other thing. Time to speak with Shamani Lomani. First Sudvanya and now Dalmascan wine. Might I interest you in an aged Leminson red instead? No, I thought not. Well then you have your work cut out for you. There was a time Dalmascan wine was fairly easy to produce, even here in Vilbrand, but that was before the Empire raised the better part of the kingdom, vineyards and all. If there are any surviving bottles, it would be those that were exported before the Imperial invasion over 30 summers past, though I have not encountered any in a decade or more, either at auction or in private hands. Collectors are covetous creatures. If one were to have somehow acquired a bottle, there is little chance he would willingly part with such a treasure, which leaves only those bought over by the few Dalmascan refugees who fled to Eorzea. Or brought over. Speak with Dressed. Where is Dressed? Right. Right, he's in the shack off by himself dealing with PTSD from the war, etc. Can't sleep. They won't let me. The midges won't let me. They buzz and they scream, not again. Oh dear Lord. I know you. You were here before. You sent away the midges. They came back though. They always come back. They mock me. They tell me I can never go home. I just want to go home. I cannot stand it here anymore. Okay. Hi there. Wine. My wife loved wine. We would drink a glass of Valens every night. Before sunset. She would always keep the cork. I always thought that odd. What good is a cork? Toss it in the heap along with the bottle, I'd say, but oh dear, not again. Search nearby for an empty wine bottle. Hi. Hi, Autumn. What is it? Though you find several empty wine bottles amongst the rubbish, one in particular calls out to you. Take it to Shamani Lumani to confirm its origin. Seriously, can Shamani Lumani get that guy to civilization? Because he's not doing himself any favors by staying there. How is dressed? I do hope your visit did not disquiet the poor soul. He's still as nervous as ever, and he pointed me in the direction of this bottle. So you have brought me an empty bottle. Ah, but what is this? The cork remains in place? That is most fortunate. If an adequate seal was made, there may still be traces of the wine within. May I? And you may not, but as if I'm going to stop you. Flamboyant, yet elegant. A thought-provoking blend of kookaroo beans and cinnamon with just a hint of... Is that rosemary? A veritable kaleidoscope of both opulence and refinement. Long has it been since I last encountered a bouquet of such complexity, yet I recall it as if it were yesterday. Without question, this bottle once held a Damascus Le Monde Red by the name of Valence. To think I would have the opportunity to experience it again after so many summers. But I suspect Master Gegoruju will not be satisfied with a sniff as I. Nope. Now, one without scruples might see the empty bottle as the basis for a ruse. One man's ruse is another man's, keikaku. I hope I pronounced that right. Hancock, but what the heck are you doing here? Over the years, I have had numerous dealings with the Lord of Costa del Sol, and while he is many things, an expert on wines is not one of them. Not that it would matter if he were. Men of his standing invariably find more joy in boasting of their acquisitions than in consuming them. In all likelihood, Master Gegoruju would never even open the bottle, rendering the provenance of its contents practically irrelevant. Ah, but where are my manners? These forays back to Western climes always bring out the barbarian in me. It is a pleasure, Myrokos. Lest you wonder at my presence here, my employers see promise in the Hingun wine trade, and desire the establishment of a viable route twixt east and west. I am come to see their plan to fruition. But returning to your dilemma, I believe I may be of assistance. I just so happen to have on my person several sample bottles of Hingun wine made with grapes similar to those found in Dalmasca, for a close acquaintance. I would be more than willing to part with one that he might fill his empty vessel. But that would be unjust as a maker of wine. I cannot allow it. Master Gagaruja has cozened more of his clients than he can count. How do you think the man amassed his fortune? By playing fair? Would that the world were thus. But I am here to tell you it is not. So it is decided then we shall employ deceit as our morally justified means to a happy end. Wait, this is a fool's errand. Oh dear. Oh no. Then let us be glad our quarry is a fool himself. Okay. Now, if you will excuse me, I must go tell the gentle citizens of Wineport why they should be drinking Hingan. Good day. I saw nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, me too. Oh dear. I don't have space. Okay, okay, slight change of plans. I need to, go to my apartment. Okay, I think I'm essentially done with sorting things around. Well, at least for now. That gives me 2 clocks. But it's a cat. So, without further ado, back to Cluster Sol. By the gods, you actually found one. A bottle of Dalmascan wine. Oh, we must uncork it right away. Or at least it appears that way. Yes, a lush bouquet of herbaceous dignification, coupled with earthen undertones and, so forth. In short, the very epitome of a Dalmascan red. Yes, you have outdone yourself this time, Myrokos. And a promise is a promise. Ladies, the bottle of Sudvianya, if you please. Take whichever you fancy, except for the one with the rose. That is my favorite, or whichever you fancy. But I need the one with the rose. Okay, so back to Kugane. They say a rose is a rose is a rose. So tell me, adventurer, is that a rose in your pocket, or are you simply here for small talk? A bottle of vintage Sud Vianja. You never cease to amaze. But what is most amazing is your impeccable sense of timing. Today marks the 12th anniversary of the day I met my dear wife. And if there was one thing she loved more than wine, it was roses. Would that she were here today to... Oh dear. But I jest. My wife is very much alive, in fact. She's been here with us all along. Darling, would you come over here to join us? For me? How thoughtful! But did you forget the most important gift of all? Of course not. Okay, what is going on here? Bacon bread, the perfect companion to a perfect wine for my perfect companion. Oh, darling, I think this might be our best anniversary yet. That played out better than I imagined. I suppose that I have you to thank, adventurer, though it was the bacon bread that sealed it. Yes, the Principal is that Principal Genoa is here calling? Perhaps he's made some progress with his research and requires your assistance. You had best not keep him waiting. I hope these past few turns of the sun have proved as productive for you as they have for us, we have much to share. Yeah, sorry for not reading the quest title, etc. I'm just kind of wanting to get on with this. Ridorana is the name of both the massive gap in the southern Valnod Sea and the lighthouse once manned by the Royal Damascus Navy to prevent ships from succumbing to the cataract's currents. I stress once manned, as the tower has lain empty since its candle keeps abandoned their posts after the fall of Rabanastre. But if Ferocirus offers any indication of what can befall a lighthouse in the absence of its caretakers... Yes, but the real question is how all of this ties in with the Ivalice legend. A cursory examination of the Zodiac Brave story reveals no mention of a Ridorana. Yet it seems foolish to assume that a name could not change in the centuries since the tale was read. Yeah. So we thought to cross-reference texts on modern Ilzabardian history with our translation of the Dorai papers, and after an exhaustive re-examination of my ancestors' notes, I discovered that there was not a single entry on Ridorana. And while mention of the Valnod Sea was absent, I found no reference whatsoever on any cataract or lighthouse within its waters. Huh. Ramses' discovery prompted me to examine the mystery from a different perspective. What if there was no mystery at all? What if, at the time of Delito's rise, the chasm did not yet exist? There is more, but only a visit to the lighthouse will enable us to confirm our theories with any certainty. The Ridorana Lighthouse lies far from civilization. You would be wise to provision yourself for the trip here in Hingashi. Of course. And while I'm waiting for the queue for the next Alliance raid, I will quite happily just port back to my apartment where I can at least get a semblance of relaxation. Something is very wrong here. Mayhap it is best if we split our fellowship into two parties, one to delve into the tower's depths and one to observe from afar. As acting expedition sub-leader, I appoint you captain of the first. You may use this spyglass to aid in your search for the missing lizard. Damn it, brother. Where are you? Shivering? Me? My fur is simply standing on end from all the ambient ether. Yes, ambient ether in the area. Can you feel it? Oh dear. Where in the king's name are you hiding, Captain? Don't worry, Captain. The slot are with us. They won't hurt you. This location appears to offer an adequate view. Climb up and scan the area for any sign of Bagamnon. Oh no, am I actually going to have to actually... Yeah, I'm gonna have to survey. Dude. Okay. There we go. You found him. Let me see. I mean, like, he was just right around the corner. I mean, we could have just walked up to him. He needs our help. Prince Razzler, Princess Ashleia, I know you cannot forgive me. Nor should you. It is my fault. I could not save you, could not save anyone but myself. I am so sorry. The goblin, wait. Oh no. Traitors, have you no pride? You treat with the very men who laid waste to our homeland. You are mistaken, brother. There are no Imperials here. We've come to help. Oh dear. I know what I see. My own kin sided with the enemy. How dare you how dare you stay my audience with the princess? The Duma? It has him, Capo. It's showing him what he wants to see. Oh no. Witch! Murderess! Oh no. No you don't. Gunfire? Oh my goodness, this Ramza is such a clueless idiot. The Goblin. So this is the end. Recite the words, satisfy the covenant, relinquish thy soul unto me, and be granted that which thou desirest most in all the world. Sword in hand, a warrior clutches stone to breast. Look at me, brother, look at me! Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do that. In sword etched he his fading memories. Don't you die, not yet. In stone his tempered skill. We promised we'd all go together when our time came. You cannot leave us here. By sword attested, by stone revealed. That light. Where have I seen it before? Oh no. Not again. Yeah. Oh dear. Whatever you are doing, you need to leave the lighthouse right away. Right away, do you hear? It is as we feared then. Bagamnan's soul is lost. World map orchestrating wall. Okay. Annihilation. A solid plan of action must be devised before facing the Banga transformed. Much as I wish it were otherwise, I fear Bagamnan is beyond saving, yet we cannot suffer what is left of him to become a distraction. Father, is now not the time to abandon this quest? We are meddling with forces beyond. Enough, Alma. We adults are talking. While Myrokos was searching for the lizard, I inspected an area of exposed foundation at the base of the lighthouse. And you were right, Father. The lighthouse is built squarely atop the ruins of what can only be the clockwork city of Goog. The what-works city of who now? According to the Zodiac Brave story, the clockwork city of Goog was a metallic metropolis wherein airships, automata, and other technological marvels of the age were first conceived. Little is said about its location, however, save that it was far away. Yeah, hi on him. While the Durai papers do not say a great deal more, they do mention that the land upon which the legendary city was built was severely limited, an inconvenience that forced its inhabitants to build up rather than out. Which led me to ask myself, what if the reason land was limited was because the land in question was an island? But that still would not explain the omission of the cataract. It is inconceivable that the authors would neglect to mention so prominent a landmark had it existed, and then I found it, a lone passage regarding Gog's fall. While the particulars were missing, it appears the city was abandoned after an explosion left half of it in ruin. I believe that this explosion may have undermined a portion of the seabed. It need only have been a small area at first, one that could have gone unnoticed during the Exodus. As time passed, however, the waters would have continued to wear away at the rock, slowly widening the gap until we have what lies beneath us today. This would explain why there is no mention of Rotorana prior to the present era. Come, Father, will you not tell them the rest of the possibility that we Garleans are descended in part from the displaced citizens of Goog? It would explain how the Empire was able to forge its armies of iron even before the discovery and application of Allagan technology. And it may also explain why the legend of Ivalice has resonated with our people for centuries, despite the fact that the Lost Kingdom was, as far as we can tell, in quite a different corner of the world. An interesting, if somewhat ambitious, theory, but to return to your original claim, it is your belief that the Ritterana Lighthouse stands atop what is left of... That necklace. Where did you get it, girl? This? It was my mother's. Your mother's? It was my late wife's most cherished possession. Why do you ask? Begamnon had a talisman he would wear beneath his jerkin. He refused to take it off, even when bathing. He said it was special. I only saw it a few times, but it looked exactly like the one your daughter wears. And? What are you implying, Lizard? That my sister stole it? Or my late mother? Neither. I spoke of their similarity, that is all. Can you believe the nerve of this boy? Enough, Ramza. Our guests are merely concerned for the well-being of their kin. But what of our kin? What of what of them, Ramza? Do you imagine our kin to be better than theirs in some way? Or anyone else's, for that matter? I apologize, Father. We have but one purpose, son, and that is to prove the existence of Ivalice and clear our family's name. Do not allow anger or hate to lead you from that path. Now we have a lost city to explore. Again, sorry for free company chat. Chat, I have no control over what some other people decide to put there. Okay. Let me just ask... Okay, as it's getting kind of late, I'm just going to queue up, since I haven't heard anything from other people in the free company. Though if you're watching the stream and you happen to be playing Final Fantasy XIV on Ether, I can open a private party listing. If you're watching this on YouTube or you happen to be joining on Twitch, by all means get up and stretch your legs, because these queues tend to be a little while. If you like what you've seen at any point, please give me a follow on Twitch, or if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, share, and subscribe. Let me know that you're watching, let me know what you like and what you don't like, and we can try to set things up as in a stream to show you what you're more interested in. Again, I'm just killing time. so the House Fortin fireplace is definitely beyond my reach, until then, this preview will have to suffice. So here's a question. Because it requires firewood, do you have to replace the firewood to keep it going? So we just need a few more DPS and... oh, well, here we go. Summoning everybody else. Excellent. One healer, one DPS. Please. Don't make me queue up again. Yay! It is only mildly annoying that when you have custom music, it does go from custom music to housing music to... yeah. to sell when he pours that bucket. Not when in doubt, follow third mentality, namely, and yeah, get out of the way. Ah! hope that was not something I needed to get. And that little thing, presumably for flavor text. Okay. looks like we have water being piped up. That is very interesting. Oh, so when they explode, they hurt. Ouch. What's wrong? I'm in the way. What's the matter? Yes, I'm here. I'm right here. I haven't gone anywhere. Just cooped up. honestly did not know that I was doing that right. It was wrong. So one right, one wrong. Sometimes follow the urge doesn't work. But then again, it looks like we're all getting decimated quite nicely.
Long have I waited for this moment, Garlean swine! Come! The blood of my fallen brothers feeds my hate! Escape this! Agony and sorrow! Your suffering is not yet over. You will not have mercy. Agony and sorrow. Escape this! Agony and sorrow! Your suffering is not yet over. I'll tear you limb from limb! Escape this! Your pain is my pleasure. You will not have mercy. Your suffering is not yet over. Agony and sorrow. I, shall deliver the king's justice! Feel the wrath of my brothers! You will pay for what you have done! With blood! I want to remember this! This is far from finished, Guardians! Like a knife through butter! Your suffering is not yet over. I'll tear you limb from limb! You will not have mercy! Like a knife through butter! Give me strength! Enough! Like a knife through butter! Your suffering is not yet over. Agony and sorrow. You may have escaped me in this life. life. But I shall be waiting in the next.
Okay, and with that, part 2 of Ivalice is essentially complete. Mother's necklace. But what is it doing here? Unless... Oh dear. What now? Alma, are you there? I'm here, Ramza. Extraordinary. The stones are different, but the craftsmanship is identical. However did it come to be in Bagamnan's possession? Though they are indeed of a different shape, the stones appear to be cut from the same crystal. Oh, they are auracite. Auracite? And what makes you say that? Can't you feel it? You can feel it, can't you, Hurdy? Do you recall me telling you that Bagamnan considered the necklace special? It was special because it was entrusted to him by Prince Razzler. He was to return it to Princess Leia upon delivering Her Highness from Nalbina Fortress. A family keepsake. Of course, and each necklace, each auracite, has acted as a lodestone, drawing both of our parties closer and closer to Ivalice. Indeed, Father, the Orsight guides us. Ramza, are you recovered? Thank you, sister. I am well now. From what we know of the Duma and the Odious, vestiges of one's will may endure in an Orsight. Could it be then that the desire for the former owner or creator of these necklaces was simply to return to Ivalice? Roll credits. But who could that have been? Ramza bailed. He wanted people to return to his homeland and uncover the truth behind the kingdom's founding. But then why show us Lazalia and Gug, you ask? Simple. We are being tested. The Orsight is measuring our worth, seeing if we are deserving of that truth. You say these things as if you knew them, but how could you? Nothing we have uncovered suggests anything of the kind. I know you have your doubts, but I can assure you they are misplaced. For now I must ask you to trust me, Lady Myrilla. Lady Myrilla? Since when did you... He got knocked out and suddenly he got manners. Yeah, are you feeling quite yourself? Yeah, you're usually a bit annoying. Trying to keep it civil. Of course I am, dear sister. Sister dearest. I have never felt better. I sense a disturbance in the ether. Father, these necklaces are gifts. Gifts from the gods who once watched over the Ivalicians. It is proof that we have their blessing. With the necklaces and the Odious, we can finally prove... Thank you, Myrokos. I know not what came over me. I am confused. Ramza, you must rest. Leave me be, Alma. Did I not tell you I'll be fine? Okay, he sounds like he's back to normal. Another adventure under our belts, eh, Myrokos? I'd best put pen to page before the details fade. Lazalia and Nalgug. One would think our discovery is more than sufficient to prove the Lexentale's claim, at least with regards to Ivalice's existence. But something tells me that until Genomus has proof that his ancestors were not the heretics the Church painted them to be, he will not rest. And then there is the curious tale of Ramza, at Alma's throat one moment, all sister dearest the next. Yeah, that was strange. He was like a different person when he came to, yet I seem to be alone in wondering exactly what happened to him back at the lighthouse. If you ask this lady, he must have taken quite some bump to the head when he fell. Then again, it didn't take him long to turn back into his spiteful little self. So all's well that ends well. Huh. Okay, and with that, I think I will call tonight's stream to a close. If you liked what you saw at any point, please give me a follow on Twitch. Link will be in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give me the gaming. If you are watching this on Twitch, there's the gaming YouTube link that will take you to the YouTube channel where all of my gaming streams will be exported to from Twitch. Please give me a subscribe there, like, share, and subscribe this if you liked it, and I will see you anon, friends.